carrying her 8-month-old son in a sling on her chest. Last fall, in a single semester, she had produced both the baby and a book on sexual ambiguity in Dickens. Following Naomi into the lounge, Nora wiggled her fingers at the baby, who gave her a somber gaze out of bottomless dark blue eyes. "Where are the rest of the papers from your gender and genre section?" Naomi demanded. "I have only half of them." Nora unslung the backpack from her shoulder. "Here they are," she said. "I wish you'd finished them sooner. I want to look them over before I turn the grades in." "I'm sorry. I had to grade the modern drama exams, too. It's been a busy week." "Yes, it has. That's why I wanted to see those papers earlier." Naomi leafed through her mail, flicking most of it into the trash and then sliding a thin envelope with Italian stamps into the lustrous leather jaws of her slim briefcase. It wasn't the best time to bring up any kind of request, Nora saw, but she had no choice. "Actually, I wanted to mention," she began. "I decided to apply for that travel fellowship, the Bloom-Forsyth grant. I was wondering if you could write a recommendation for me." "I thought you weren't going to apply for that." "Can't you ask Marlene to send out the recommendation that's on file?" "I realized there's some work I could do at Cambridge." The idea had come to Nora 2 nights before, as she lay awake at 3 a.m. The inspiration had less to do with John Donne, her thesis subject, than a sudden need to escape. "The form asks some questions that aren't covered by the recommendation you wrote for me before. If you tweak the old recommendation, it should be fine. It just has to be postmarked by Monday." Naomi pivoted, a wrinkle of annoyance visible between her strong brows. "You know, I'm boarding a plane Sunday to fly to London. I don't know if I'll have time." "Oh," Nora said awkwardly. "I didn't realize you were leaving so soon." Naomi sighed and ran a hand through her hair, which was growing long, Nora noticed. Naomi usually had it cut on one of her frequent trips to Europe, one of the side benefits of having a boyfriend in London. "Come into my office, Nora. I want a word with you." As Nora lowered herself onto the steel and leather chair in front of Naomi's desk, Naomi shut the office door. Nora's stomach tensed. "I should tell you that if I do write you a new recommendation," Naomi said, "I don't know that I'd have anything very positive to add." Nora blinked. "Really?" "I haven't seen very much from you this year, just the one thesis chapter. It was fine, but you finished it back in November, and here it is May." "I wrote that Dickinson paper, Wild Nights, The Erotics of Evasion. One of the journals was interested, so I've been revising." "It's a good paper, and I'm sure you could publish it, but you shouldn't be spending time trying to publish a paper so removed from your dissertation topic. I was hoping that I'd see at least one more chapter from you before the end of this school year." "Well, I've been working hard. I'm just not making much progress." Nora paused, but Naomi said nothing, so she plunged on. "I'm starting to think. I'm just not sure I can say much that's new about gender politics in Donne." "Nora, when you chose your topic, we discussed the pitfalls of writing about a canonical author like John Donne. It can be difficult to find unplowed ground." Hundreds of authors to write about, and yet it seemed that every single one had already been chewed over by packs of other hungry doctoral students. Even poets who had written only a handful of decent poems in their entire lives were the subject of lengthy, arcane, lovingly argued dissertations. And someone good, like Shakespeare or Bronte or Dickinson or Dickens or Donne? They were mobbed by grad students and professors alike, like pop stars surrounded by screaming groupies. "Yes, I know," Nora said. "So I'm wondering whether it might be fruitful to look at another writer, too. I have some ideas about Donne and Dickinson, their comparative poetics, that I'd like to outline for you." Naomi held up her hand.